Y'all get it. Y'all might catch it later when y'all rewatch the show.
Say I gotta come down.
Rachel asking. Oh, you got on Rachel's height?
Yeah, we good. We
down.
good.
Rachel, who do you trust?
It's going to take a lot more than a chair. Just saying.
You were in the Garden. Am I mistaken? You were in the Garden
game one. It was, chills. It was
First off, paint the picture for a moment.
Yeah, we need to hear this.
Paint the picture.
I've seen a lot of basketball games, as y'all know.
Of course.
This was one of the very good ones. And what was so crazy is that with a minute to go, they were up by 9. You were almost bored for part of the second half because you're like, okay. It's sort of like last night's game. We know how this is going to end. And the idea that something has literally never happened before got to happen in front of my eyes is pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
Wait, hold up real quick. You said something that's never happened before. Were you talking about Nesmith having 30-some points out of 350 games? You mean that part, or you mean the comeback? I'm just trying to figure out, both. Because a lot of things were historic that night.
So when
come on now,
when Jalen Brunson laid that ball in for that 9-point lead at 59 seconds, the Knicks' win probability was 100%.
Thank you.
The Pacers had a 0% chance, according to the computers, of winning, and yet Tyrese Haliburton happened.
That's crazy. While I say it to you, because you know these Haliburton fans on this desk, was, oh my God, like, Moses can split the Red Sea, all that type of stuff. I'm like, hold up. A lot of things had to go wrong for things to go right.
There was a 0% chance that Moses would split the Red Sea too. So in theory, you could draw a comp. Rachel, tonight, who do you have more confidence in, Haliburton or Brunson?
What am I choosing between? Moses and What are my choices?
That's right.
Look, I am never going to doubt Tyrese Haliburton. I mean, period, the end, ever, certainly after these last few weeks. But Jalen Brunson is the one who I think is really going to step up tonight because he played an excellent game.
Yes, he did.
In game one, by the way. Yeah. It's just the last 5 or 6 minutes, including the overtime, he had uncharacteristic turnovers, fell apart a little bit, and just wasn't the exceptional captain clutch that we expect after these playoffs. So I think he will be able to put together another great game. I think he knows how to play with the foul trouble, and he sort of sat on the bench for a little bit in the second half. I don't expect that again. He talked about that after practice yesterday. I will say he's got to stop the flopping. But he's not the only one. Nesmith also on both sides of the ball. Did you see there was a possession there where he and Nesmith are going down at each other? Brunson grabs Nesmith's arm, hits himself in the face, and then snaps his head back. And by the way, Nesmith on the other side then, just on the same possession, flops all over and grabs. I mean, I need all of that to stop because Jalen Brunson is too good a player. He has put together such a body of work in these playoffs, and I expect him to come hard at the Garden tonight. I expect him to show up, and I think that the Knicks have a good chance of winning.
Now, 43 points is hard to outdo that.
Yeah.
When you say you expect him to show up and come hard at the Garden tonight, do you expect him to exceed statistically his box score numbers or just get the dub?
No, I think it's powering his team, doing all the things that they expect him to do as the captain of that squad, and really being good late. It was just so uncharacteristic for him to have trouble late. And I don't think he was fatigued physically, but I do wonder if being the guy who is depended on to come through in the last 3 minutes of games over and over and over again, especially in the way they did against the Pistons, against Boston, where they're coming back from 20-point deficits. I wonder if, the 19th time that happens, your brain starts to fry a little bit, but I expect all of that to be cleaned up tonight.
And I don't know if it's more of the fatigue part of being down because they were up. I think it was more fatigue of actually not being on the court. Right? And when I say this because, you rarely see him in foul trouble. Like, your captain's a guy that I can depend on no matter what's going on, good or bad. Things are going bad, we looking at you. Things are going good, okay, how do we? And for not being on that court, because he had stuff that, I'm not used to him see him do. Like, even the one time where he was trying to throw the ball off a player's leg, and now, luckily, they got it back. But that's not what he does. He's a real captain, and I trust in Brunson more simply because I think they're at home, and I think he's a better player. I think when you talk about being a clutch player, it means so many different things, right? Good or bad, we depend on him. And I think if you really watch that game, like I said before, so many things had to go well for the Pacers, but a lot of things had to go bad for the Knicks to lose that game.
Yeah, he had 43 points, and he sat on the bench more than he usually sits on the bench.
Yeah.
And not only that, when certain players talk, I listen. Brunson about his business.
That's true.
If y'all see that man face on that podium, hey, we're going to think about this one. It'll probably be on our mind, but once that game start, it's time to ride. They're going to blow these boys out tonight.
Oh, so my money, so that 6 points is good?
If you're going to bet that they're going to blow these boys out tonight, they're going to come out aggressive. It's going to be rocking in there. They're going to get this game.
But you never know, though. Neesmith might just make a whole bunch of threes again.
No.
It's hard. Obviously, I trust Brunson more to win the game. Knicks going to win the game tonight. I'll put my money on it. I am putting my money on it. But it's hard to say you trust anybody in this playoffs more than Haliburton.
Look.
In this playoff specifically, it's just hard to say that.
He's 12 of 14 on shots to tie or go ahead in the final 2 minutes of the game. You cannot get more dependable than that.
can't.
And considering the way he has played, I would
Yes.
like to make a plea. Can we please let John Haliburton, his father, back in the building? Okay, because I understand that going at Giannis was a no-no. He was way out of line. There was nothing okay about that.
Yeah.
However, we all have bad moments. Afterward, he apologized. The Pacers apologized. Tyrese Haliburton apologized. He has stayed away now for, 6 or 7 games.
What building, though?
His son, he's not allowed to come to games right now.
Any games?
His son is having the best moments of
Yes,
his
and he's
entire
missing them.
career.
Yeah.
Something that his dad was a huge part of creating. So look, put him on the second level so he can't get near the court.
Yeah. Yes.
But I believe that he should be allowed back in the building for games 3 and 4 and beyond that. If they get there, I just want to see. We see Tyrese doing this stuff. Let
And I
his
love
daddy
all
see
that.
it.
And I never go against Rachel Nichols ever.
Ever. In life.
And I'm not even going to do it this time. But I will say this. Now, his dad was out of pocket.
Way out of pocket.
Real quick. Now, out of pocket, right?
All the pockets.
Now, Giannis ain't no little dude.
At all.
And you got your butt kicked, right?
Yeah,
and you mad as hell in Milwaukee.
Correct.
Now, what if it just, because sometimes fans don't understand, like, you're a warrior. You're in an arena. And some could trigger that, and it's like,
Yep.
And what if that big
Bomb.
bomb?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whole lawsuit, everybody's like,
Correct.
Yeah.
So I just want people to say, like, when you do stuff like that, it's a consequence because anything could have happened.
That's where I'm at because, like, I want to agree with Rachel, but simultaneously, because I've heard this theory,
Man.
like, the outcome wasn't bad because Giannis didn't react. But if Giannis would have reacted,
Run on test. Let that be run on test.
the sorry, the better behavior, it's all irrelevant if Giannis would have
At
reacted.
some point, the punishment outweighs the crime,
And
right? At
it-
some point. So if
Sure.
you say, does he miss the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals in Game 7? Would that punishment outweigh the crime? Probably, right? So then you just got to work backwards. Is missing his son in the NBA Finals, if they get there, a crime? A punishment that's too heavy for the crime? I think it is.
But it depends on the crime because the crime only at this point was getting in Giannis's face. But had Giannis punched him, now all of a sudden,
But it didn't happen.
it didn't because of Giannis, though.
Yeah.
Again.
Right.
For
Thank
me,
God.
See, for me, I mean, he could go to the games because
Yeah.
if that was James or Jordan Jones, when they scanned to him, they would have known he got these paws put on him. Because if that was my son and a daddy did that, don't trip, son. I want him to be at the game because I'm sitting courtside too.
Yeah.
And when I see him, it's going to be a big, big problem.
See what I'm
So
saying?
scan to Haliburton. Scan to him. Scan to him.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.